My apologies.
Ms. Fletcher, no apologies necessary. Anybody that had a chance to go to Florida deserves 10 minutes. Call the meeting to order.
Mr. E.R.A.
Yes, sir.
I may say something.
Roll call first.
Okay.
Bolton? Here. Donato?
Here.
Fletcher? Here. Matei?
Here.
Miles?
Here.
Torres? E.R.A.
Here. This is an executive, no.
Special meeting.
Mr. E.R.A., may I say something before we go into the meeting?
Just a minute, I need to open the meeting.
You have to open the meeting. Oh, go ahead.
Okay, Mr. Bonato, go ahead.
I just want to say one thing.
Go ahead.
Okay, Audra, are you recording this?
Yes.
'Cause I have something important to say. Thank you, Mr. E.R.A., for giving me the chance to speak. I just want to go on record that I formally object to going forward with this meeting. I'm looking at section 512 of our city chart, of our home rule charter. It says that you can only conduct business at a special meeting if all members of council present consent. Well, I'm present, and I do not consent to going forward with this meeting.
That's not what it says.
This
Wait a
meeting cannot
minute, wait a
legally
minute.
proceed unless be.
You're reading stuff in there. We all consented to have the meeting, did we not?
I didn't consent for this meeting. I can consent now.
Why are you here then?
Wasn't there
I
a motion?
represent this people.
Wasn't there a motion to table
There was,
and a vote
but there was,
taken?
that, I don't have to have a reason to do this. I don't have to have a reason. You know, I just don't think it's right.
I don't understand what you're talking about.
Just look at the home rule charter, Coach. That's all I'm talking about.
You read it to me,
I
and
know.
it doesn't pertain to this. We
It
called
doesn't.
we called a special meeting, follow me.
Yes.
We called a special meeting. We discussed, we had a motion to table it and come back again and have another meeting. You didn't consent?
Well,
You
I
didn't
can consent
dissent
now.
either.
I'm not consenting right now. Just look at the home rule charter. I mean, look at the past.
Would somebody help me here?
What, Mr. Mayor, I don't know that I can help you, but I do have the section, I have the charter, and I see the section that Councilman Bonato was referring to, and it does say, business at special meetings. No business shall be transacted at any special meeting of the council unless the same has been stated in the notice of such meeting. Any business which may lawfully come before a regular meeting may be transacted at a special meeting if all the members present consent thereto and all members absent file their written consent. So I think I think that Councilman Bonato at any point in time can object to the,
Absolutely.
and if we could please not have comments from the audience.
Yeah, would you please,
So,
did you help him with this?
No, nobody helped.
Did he help you with it? Well, why is he talking?
I don't know. You know, just like I say.
Wait a minute. Did he help you with this?
Nobody's helped me with this.
Oh,
I just
okay.
did my study.
Why is he talking?
I don't know. Ask him.
You don't know?
No.
Okay.
You know, here's another example I could present to this council. Just look at the past minutes from March 13th, 2012. That is my backup. I don't have to give any reason. I just have to be present and say I don't agree to conducting the special meeting, and then you have to adjourn the meeting.
Did you know about this before we had asked for the special meeting?
Absolutely.
Did you know this
I waited.
before?
You know, Mr.
Why didn't you
Mayor-
present this when we had our special
I don't
meeting
have to say
before?
nothing else.
I know you don't,
I
because
just-
you didn't know it then.
Yes, I did.
You went home and found it.
I
Somebody
found
told
it in the
you.
charter. Here's
Yeah.
the charter. Read the charter.
I read it.
You're supposed to know the charter.
I read it.
So I don't have to say anything else. So with this done, you know, I'm not gonna stay here and attend an illegal meeting. Yep. And that's the way I look at it. This meeting should be adjourned.
However, since this was a continuation of a prior special meeting on the same subject, and a motion was made to table,
I don't care. I'm still right.
Wait a minute.
and everyone voted on it and agreed to it being scheduled to today, and I believe you also voted yes on
I
it.
said to table it.
You're here.
And it's tabled
It's
till
tabled
tonight,
right now.
specifically
So
to this
right now,
date and
I'm
time.
disagreeing with this, and I don't have to stay here. And if I can leave right now, I'm not gonna be part of an illegal meeting that goes against.
This is not an illegal meeting. It's a continuation of the last special meeting. You leave now, remember what happened to Mr. Ponda when he left.
Hey, you know, this is part of, it says right there, ask the city attorney.
Did you hear what she said?
I heard what Mr.
It's a
Johnson said.
continuation of a meeting.
If I could, please, it seems to me that Councilman Bernardo can object. I mean, he can interpose an objection at any point in time. I would like to say, I don't believe this is an illegal meeting, but I do think that he can object to the.
What I think Les is trying to say, we just talked about it, is that the meeting's not illegal, but Mr. Bernardo, Councilmember Bernardo, can object to the business being taken in hand by our reading of that section of the charter.
Fine, he's done it,
So
and it's on the
this
record.
meeting's adjourned, can we leave?
It's not adjourned.
Well, then I could leave then if this is an illegal meeting.
Oh, gee.
But it's not an illegal meeting, but all the members present at a special meeting have to consent to the business being undertaken. And you do not, and that's, I
That's the
understand.
charter.
And that's right, per the charter. And it also says that absent members must give their written consent. And it occurs to me that I don't have the written consent of Councilwoman Torres. So I think that for both of those reasons, fortunately or unfortunately, the special meeting, the business cannot be transacted.
Ms. Torres called in and said she would be absent.
I understand, sir. It says that
I know what it says.
they have to file their written consent, and I did not ask her. I didn't know she was going to be absent, but I do not have her written consent. So
And her approval.
Go, Mr. Bernardo, you can leave, go. Yeah, I don't want you to be part of an illegal meeting. Thank you for bringing that to our attention.
That's right. And not go against the home rule charter.
Oh, yeah, well, whatever.
I'm on record on that, right?
Yes, you are, sir. You want it written? You have something to say, Mr. Leone?
I'm just saying that I agree with Mr. Bernardo.
Well, that's fine, then you can leave too. How's
I don't have
that?
to leave. I'm a taxpayer, I can stay here as long as I want, Mr.
That's
Bernardo.
fine, but don't make another comment.
Don't ask me to make.
Don't make another comment, I'm telling you. So a motion to adjourn.
I'd like to ask Mr. Downs,
You got it.
you're confident that business cannot be conducted at this meeting without both Mr. Bonato's consent and Ms. Torres's written consent?
that's correct.
If it's a
I mean, they don't-
continuation of another meeting that they both agreed to come to.
It doesn't say specifically what happens if they have earlier given their assent or their approval to have a special meeting. It simply says that any business which may lawfully come before a regular meeting may be transacted at a special meeting if all the members present consent thereto, and all members absent file their written consent. So he was present, and he doesn't have to agree to whatever is being proposed, but he has to agree to that business being taken up at a special meeting.
How about if he knew this was in the charter before he came? All of a sudden, he knows that this was, why didn't he tell us it was illegal to meet before if he knew it was in the charter?
I can't answer that, Mayor.
It seems to me our city attorney is very clear on what we can and can't do.
Yep.
Motion to adjourn.
Second,
Seconded?
roll call.
Bolton?
Yes.
Fletcher?
Yes.
Matei?
Yes.
Miles?
Yes.
E.R.A.
Yes.
How much notice is necessary? When is our next regularly scheduled business meeting? Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
And it is now 5:45. The meeting's tomorrow's at 7. Do we have enough time to post it? And I realize this meeting is
Fine.
is over, but nonetheless, I wish to, as a council member, amend tomorrow's meeting to include a decision as to the software purchase.
Does it take two of us? Just one, good.
for a regular agenda meeting tomorrow, I'd like to have the issue concerning the software purchase included. And so long as we're all among friends here and just talking, allow me to say that, you know, there are some things I guess certainly appreciate Mr. Bernardo's frustration with things, okay? But it's important that we recognize, reminds me of the Dirty Harry movies of the early 70s. One in particular is Magnum Force, when Inspector Callahan says a man has to know his limitations. And to demonstrate that point, I've been a cop for 37 years. I have 2 medals of valor for the state patrol, but it doesn't qualify me to be the director of the FBI. Mr. E.R.A has been an educator for more than 40 years, 20 of that as an administrator, but it doesn't qualify him to be the president of Harvard. And what I mean to say is, to clarify my point about local businesses, some represented, wherever possible, when they are qualified, I support and endorse the use of local businesses. I have even proposed that we have a percentage over their bid to compensate for their presence and their tax paying and all that sort of stuff. But at the same time, if it's clearly demonstrated that they are not qualified competitors in the bid process, I don't think that it's appropriate to restrain the city from any movement forward because of that. Allow me to say, based on the and we're in adjournment. You don't have to stay here and listen to me if you don't want to. I'm just talking. But as was suggested at the meeting of the 26th, look at the website for Tyler Technologies. I did. Tyler Technologies is located in Lubbock, Texas. They employ more than 2,750 people. Their 2013 financial reserve was $416.6 million. They have offices in 18 states, including Colorado, which is located at 14142 Denver Parkway in Lakewood. They began in 1938 as a company formed under Cole, Layer, and Trumbull, and their purpose at that time was appraisals and taxes. They entered the computer software business in 1962, 10 years before the Equal Rights Amendment. They entered the local government software in 1998. Their awards include having been 7 times listed in Forbes magazine as America's Best Small Company, 4 times in Barron's Index as the most promising company. Audit Integrity says they are one of America's most trustworthy companies. Software Magazine 500 ranks them as one of the world's premier software suppliers 6 times consecutively. 6 times they were recognized as the best place to work in Maine, twice at the top of the list. 2 times they were recorded in Dallas-Fort Worth area. The Lubbock office was recognized as a place to work. In 2010, by the 2010 South Plains Regional Employer of the Year. They are the top public software provider. They are committed to their clients, their products, their services, and their training. They are dedicated to continually evolving. Their leadership team includes a chairman of the board, a president and CEO, a chief financial officer, general counsel, an executive vice president, a chief information officer, a marketing officer, an accounting officer, a local government division, a court and justice division, and a school division, all of whom are government entities to whom they provide financial services. And they also have an appraisal and a tax division controller, as well as a director of human resource information. So long as we are continuing to talk, please understand that what I'm about to say now are my own opinions and do not reflect the opinions of anyone else at the dais, and certainly they are not the opinions, attitudes, or positions of council. I think the primary responsibility of a council person is to represent the best interests of the city of Trinidad. In so doing, at all times, we must maintain the financial solvency, we must promote staff efficiency, and we must preserve the integrity of city government. For council to miss this opportunity to secure a software program for Tyler Technologies would be foolhardy, misguided, and a dereliction of our duties as council members. Tyler Technologies, whose main business is to professionally construct, develop, support, train, and update software which is specifically designed by software engineers for the use by municipal governments, has made us an offer to the city of Trinidad which represents a giant step into the current technological age. With the acquisition of professionally engineered software, having experience of almost 16 years, the ability of staff to serve the needs of Trinidad is greatly enhanced. This service of Trinidad's citizens, in my opinion, is the second greatest challenge the City Council has. There is no greater evidence of the validity of this offer than the thousands of customers that Tiger Technology serves nationally, including successfully the City of Raton and Los Animas County. As I have said, while I support the use of local businesses where appropriate, in this case, it is my opinion that the local providers clearly lack the skill and means necessary to equal or meet Tiger Technology's proposal. They do not have a current product in hand to deliver, nor do they have the documented experience or client list to substantiate their claims that they've made in our last meeting. In fact, a misguided attempt to assassinate the character, reputation, and the product of Tiger Technologies was the only thing that was presented. In addition, if they were equally capable as Tiger Technologies, I believe that their demeanor, their hostile attitude, and their obvious lack of professional business sense presented at our meeting only serves to demonstrate that they lack the ethical and business demeanor of a company with whom we can responsibly do business. I believe that the document that was handed out at the council on June 26th is rife with personal threats and personal attacks and emotionally charged innuendo, and it serves only to exacerbate my point of the lack of professionalism. Additionally, I believe that you now choose not to accept the proposal by Tyler irresponsibly places the city in legal jeopardy. And the reason I say that, at the work session of June 24th, there's a presentation made by Mr. Medina that resulted in a consensus of favor among the council members to proceed with the Tiger Technology proposal. No action could be taken because it was a work session. So a special meeting was scheduled for June 26th to approve that purchase and thereby meet the proposal deadline of June 30th, today, which allowed us to take advantage of additional savings offered to us by Tiger. I believe that for those who have been responsible to have provided the conflicting proposal to E.R.A, for them to have been provided with the information presented in the Tiger proposal constitutes, in my mind, a violation of professionalism, and it's insider trading at its best. And I think it opens us up to litigation from Tiger Technology. There was no one here to defend them, and all we had was accusation and threat and so forth from one of the presenters. And lastly, you know, the presentation included a big list of, well, not a big list, but two issues of, well, they've been sued. They got 2,000 customers. Of course they've been sued. That's what happens. Okay? I suspect that, you know, those of us in business, she's not here, so I'll not make mention. Well, I know, well, Liz has cut a lot of hair. I'm sure somebody would agree that she's given them a bad haircut somewhere along the line. Did that necessarily mean she's a bad barber? I'm sure people have demonstrated that their cement was calculated wrong. You took what they ordered, that doesn't mean you're a bad provider, but they were unhappy. My point is there are some people who are just not happy, and you know, there's complaints everywhere. And I'll get off my soapbox and my tirade, but I gotta say, and I realize this is informal discussion, so you and I can dialogue. What I gotta say is, they weren't qualified, and the city's in jeopardy of losing an opportunity here because of a lot of circumstances. What?
Anthony, though, this is my theory. The city can let it out on an RFP. They have, and in your city charter, it says the city has the right to accept and reject any and all bids and to waive any formalities. Let them bid. Let them bid. At least give them a chance to bid. Give everybody a chance to bid. Give everybody a chance to bid on something. You guys got the right to do what you want. It says it in your charter. That's what it says in the charter.
Okay, are you done?
Yes, sir.
Okay, if we would have been allowed to proceed, there would have been an appropriate explanation as to how this was handled by council and by the screening of the providers. I have just an idea, a rudimentary idea of all the information was gathered, but we talked to a whole class full of people. We talked to the instructor of a class. We put it out there to people who we believe were qualified. Now, do we want to embarrass people?
You got that right. That says it in the charter. You do have that right. It's just the idea of letting everybody bid on it.
Your point is well made, but my position is to do this, and while we can't talk about it, okay, not now, we'll talk about it tomorrow night. But it has to be said. We have an opportunity to take the city of Trinidad forward, and because of a lot of unnecessary stalling, it ain't happening tonight.
I wasn't here I wanted to talk tonight, but I didn't realize you can't talk at a special meeting.
But you did.
No, I didn't.
That's all right.
You
I didn't
spoke
put my
under
name-
your
I
breath.
didn't put my name on the
Yeah,
agenda.
I'm a little concerned about one thing. If this turns into a discussion of city business.
Right.
With 4 council.
Motion to
present,
adjourn
we
again.
can make a statement, and that's it. We
I
can't discuss it.
I apologize if I overstepped my boundaries.
No, you didn't. I'm saying once it turns into a discussion.
Okay.
I think when your honesty and integrity is questioned, because somebody
Hey, Sonny, hold up.
Yes, sir.
It's awfully human. Awfully human.
Where? Where are you going?
Hey, Pat, welcome back.
You'll never miss a meeting. I know, I understand. You were, I didn't see it.
Big girl.
Sure, you bet.
I know, I am.